Hello everyone, my name is KingStix and today I am here to talk to you about the meta in Preseason 8 and just a quick recap on Season 7. In Season 7, tank junglers were absolutely disgusting. They ruled the Rift. Rammus, Sejuani, Cho'Gath, they were extremely powerful in every elo, carried really hard. The enemy jungler had to have a really good idea of what they were doing and be smurfing or just in general be better than the tank jungler to be able to beat them. Now, I'll say in the Preseason 8, tank junglers are a lot weaker, not in the mid and late game. In the mid and late game, tank junglers are still just as strong, maybe even stronger, but in the early game, they suffer really badly. Two main reasons. The first reason, the resolve tree doesn't offer proper sustain for tank junglers in the early game. Things like Rammus, Sejuani, Cho'Gath, Maokai all lose a lot more health in the early game, get much lower and are susceptible to getting counter jungled, and they can't gank near as hard on their first clear. The second thing, Catchup XP got nerfed significantly. So before, if you were behind in levels, if you went up to a level 5 Raptor kit when you're level 3, you'd be like level 4.5 when you finished it, because on every single Raptor you got extreme amount of Catchup XP. It wasn't just on the big Raptors, on every single Raptor you got loads of extra experience. That alone gives counter junglers like Lee Sin, Warwick, Rek'Sai, and Nidalee huge advantages, because whenever they go into your jungle and kill you or take your camps, you're going to be really far behind, and it's going to be very difficult to catch back up, because they're going to be hitting level 6 way before you, still be killing you, so you're falling farther behind and they're getting farther ahead, especially when they're hitting level 6, because they're going to have that ultimate advantage. In general, I don't recommend playing tank junglers. They'll set you farther behind. Only pick one if your team doesn't have a single tank. If your team has a tank, I suggest picking a stronger, earlier game impact champion, assuming you know how to play jungle. If you don't know how to play jungle, you might as well just pick Cho'Gath or Rammus, because you're not going to help out anyways. Now, when it comes to supports, healer supports are still OP. Things like Sona and Soraka are just disgusting. Brand support I've also seen is very strong. Stay away from things like Blitzcrank or Thresh unless you're a Blitz or Thresh main. They're really not that great right now. ADCs are really OP with these new keystones. Press the attack makes champions like Vayne retardedly OP, and lethal tempo puts things like Twitch and Kog'Maw way over the top, giving them way too much damage. I expect those keystones to be nerfed quite a bit in Season 8 because there's no downside to picking it on a ranged champion. For example, things like Frozen Mallet are weaker on a ranged champion than they are on a melee. Same thing with Phase Rush on the sorcery tree. After 3 auto attacks or spells on an enemy champion, you get a massive boost of movement speed. On both melee and ranged champions, the difference is melee champions also gain 75% slow resistance. In Season 7, it was the same thing with Fervor. Melee champions got 2 stacks per auto and ranged champions got 1 stack per auto. So this isn't a new thing. That's how it has to be. Whenever runes are really overpowered, they have to be weaker for ranged champions. If they're not, in higher elos, you will see skilled roles like AD carry just dominate the games just because their keystone is so OP, as long as their support can properly pill for them. In conclusion, Preseason 8 is by far more snowbally than Season 7 League of Legends because of the extreme nerfs on jungle camp catch-up experience. Not only that, but catch-up experience on killing champions higher level than you was completely removed. It's never been a better time to play early game champions, never been a better time to abuse tank champions. This is also a really good time to smurf and boost since games are so snowbally. If you know what you're doing and you can get yourself and your team ahead, you're a lot more likely to win the game than you were back in Season 7. I do hope the keystone changes will be implemented and also maybe a little bit of catch-up experience brought back. But if the game is going to stay this snowbally in general, I'm not really going to be playing any tank champions. I'm going to stick with my early game champions like Warwick, Xin Zhao, and Jarvan. I am going to be putting out a Rammus commentary guide just to show you guys what you do whenever your team doesn't have a single tank, and I'll show you how to play that. That is going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.